we have Srimati Kanimozhi Karunanidhi joining us for a fireside chat on North-South divide, politics of pride. A bigger round of applause, please.
Well, I also request Madhav to felicitate her with a small token of her appreciation.
Thanks so much for that, Swati, as well as Hina. Ms. Kanimozhi, let me begin with a big issue that, you had a big Joint Action Committee meeting last weekend, if I'm not mistaken. There were several chief ministers. The big issue that the DMK is talking about is the issue of delimitation. Your political rivals say that you're raising this issue now in the run-up to next year's polls to try and whip up passions amongst people. How does the DMK see this issue, and how will you be able to drive this further in the coming days? The issue of delimitation, that is.
See, today delimitation can be done only based on population. And it is a real concern for many states, especially the southern states, and a few states like Punjab, Haryana, which will be affected because we've controlled population, effectively controlled population. And there are many states which have not controlled population, which will be benefiting if they do delimitation on the basis of population. So obviously we are concerned. Tamil Nadu is concerned, and it was not just the Tamil Nadu Chief Minister, Mr. Stalin, who was voicing his concern about it. It is Kerala, Karnataka, Andhra, Telangana, Punjab, and many other states which have, and the chief ministers and political leaders, Odisha, political leaders from various parties who came together to voice their concern on one single platform.
Right.
So it is not DMK alone, and it is not something which is, baseless. Because when they passed the Women's Reservation Bill, on the floor of the House, it was said that it will come into effect after population census, then the delimitation, and only after that this Women's Reservation Bill will be implemented. And they said as soon as possible, and any time in 2026, they have to start population census and delimitation also.
Right.
So this is the right time to talk about it. If you don't talk about it today, after everything is over, what is the point in talking about it? Correct. So we don't want Tamil Nadu, for example, if the delimitation is done on population census today, we will lose around, we have 39 seats now, we'll lose around 8 or 9 seats. And I don't think that is what we want.
But ma'am, the Union Home Minister has come out on record. He has said that the interests of the South states will be protected and they would get a fair share. Why do you not take his assurance at face value? Is there any particular reason for you not
Unfortunately, you cannot take any of the assurances of this government at face value. They have a history of failing people. So we are concerned. And what does he, when he came to Tamil Nadu, the Union Home Minister said that on a pro rata basis, we will not lose seats. We want to know what that means. We want a clarity on that. Are you going to increase the number of seats? Are you going to keep it as it is? If you're going to increase the seats and if you're going to keep the percentage, still, states which have controlled population will be losing. So we want to have a clarity about it. There is no discussion. We've been requesting for a debate or a discussion in Parliament, and it hasn't happened. So we want some clarity about what is going to happen. And even Telangana government has passed a resolution yesterday in their assembly, saying that this should be frozen because it's been done before. And now for another 25 years. And if you want delimitation to be done, it should be done state-wise for assemblies. That is what the Telangana government has passed.
Right. No, because the law says very clearly that it has to be done after the first election post 2026. Now, the last census was supposed to happen in 2021. So, is it your concern or your claim now that this entire exercise should be postponed to 2031 now, or the next 25 years? What is it that you're exactly saying?
The resolution which was passed on 22nd in Chennai, where all the various leaders met, was that to freeze it for next 25 years, so that there is a balance of population. It was done before, hoping that all the states will be able to control their population. For example, Andhra has controlled its population after that. Andhra Pradesh, Telangana and Andhra, they have controlled, they've brought down their population growth today. But there are states which have not done that. So at least in the next 25 years, we hope that there will be progress and they will be able to control population and there will be a balance.
Because, the states that, are demanding this delimitation, they will say that it's already not been in place for 40 years. You're asking for a delay of another 25 years. And therefore, that proportional representation, which is part of the constitution, would be then suspended for over 6 decades, which is a considerable amount of time.
See, why should states which have performed well, states which have worked on their education policy, states which have worked on development, states which have taken care of their health indexes, numbers. These are the states which have been able to control population. And states which have not done that are the ones which have, exponential population growth. And their figures and percentage of population growth is much higher than the national average.
Right.
Whereas our states are much lower than the national average. So it's not fair to make people who've worked, who've performed well, suffer. So we are not saying we have to be unfair to anybody. Let us come up with something which is fair. We are only talking about fair delimitation. Let us come. Unless you speak, unless you have a discussion, unless you have a deliberation, and unless people put their minds together, we will not be able to come up with something else, some other way to make it fair for everybody. But the government is unwilling to even discuss it.
Your rivals, the ADMK, says they want a 10-year freeze, and they also want that the percentage of 7% roughly should continue. Is that an acceptable or a fair solution in your view?
See, keeping this 7% will not actually be fair, because there are states which will be actually getting the difference between the states which have not controlled population and which has controlled population will become much more. So that is what we are saying is, let us talk about and come up with something which is right for everybody. Where we cannot, today we have to amend the constitution if we are thinking about some other basis on which population, basis on which delimitation can be done. Population cannot be the only factor.
Right.
But for that, you have to constitute a committee or something where you can discuss about it. Take it further. Think about what are the ways and means we can figure out a solution, a fair solution. The government cannot say that the Home Minister came and made a speech in public saying that Tamil Nadu will not be affected, so we have to take it at face value and leave it. That's not asking for something which is unfair.
Right. Let me also come across the entire issue of the whole language policy, the NEP in particular. Now, several of your party's leaders have come out and said that this is Hindi imposition. The BJP says there's no Hindi imposition when it comes to a third language. All that's been said is that it should be an Indian language. It can be Kannada, it can be Malayalam, it can be Tamil, it can be Bengali, it can be Punjabi, any Indian language. So where is the question of Hindi imposition is what the centre and the BJP are saying. Your response to that?
See, why should you actually limit it to one Indian language? A child can learn any language they want. It can be a foreign language, it can be an Indian language. It depends on what the child or the family thinks it is important to them. Next thing is, in Tamil Nadu, we have a long history of, Hindi, anti-Hindi struggles. And we don't want any language to be imposed on us. And there was a resolution passed in Parliament saying that Tamil Nadu can continue with the two-language policy. So today, it is not Tamil Nadu which has brought back this issue to center stage. It is a union government which says, and education is on the concurrent list, it is not on the union list. So I think both our opinions matter. But they are saying, unless you sign the new education policy, which also includes three-language policy, we will not give you SSA funds. This is actually equal to blackmailing us, threatening us. So they are the ones who've now raked up this issue. And when you talk about a country like India or any country, no country has, resources which are, which extend to infinity. Everybody has limited resources to a point. So if you bring three languages, a policy in Tamil Nadu, and a student says, I want to learn Bhojpuri, will you be able to bring a teacher to teach Bhojpuri?
Why not?
No,
There may be teachers available in that
No,
state.
we have no issues. But I'm asking you, will you bring one single teacher to teach in a school, to teach Bhojpuri or Bengali or Malayalam or Kannada or whatever language they want, Rajasthani? Will you, if in a school there are
But that
10
applies
different,
to all the
10
states.
different teachers, students wanting to be taught different things, will we be able to bring teachers to do that? For example, in Tamil Nadu, where we have Kendriya Vidyalaya schools run by the union government, not one single school has one Tamil teacher, a permanent Tamil teacher. This was an answer to the question which I had raised in Parliament. So this is not something I'm coming out with. This is something the government has responded to, and these are the numbers they've given us. There are more than 85 Hindi teachers, and there are Sanskrit teachers. But there's not one single permanent Tamil teacher in Kendriya Vidyalaya schools in Tamil Nadu.
But there's an answer that Mr. Annamalai has to
do
that.
you expect us to believe you, trust you, and say that you will be providing us with so many teachers to teach us the third language? Obviously, they will say it is easier to teach Hindi or Sanskrit.
What Mr. Annamalai says in response to that, or even on this entire debate, is that several of the schools that are run by Mr. M.K. Stalin's family, and your family at that, follow a policy of 3 or more languages.
See,
so he says there's
I
a double
don't want to
standard.
get into anybody's personal what they're doing, because I'm not aware of it. I don't run any school, so I'm not teaching any Hindi in, or have I learned Hindi, or my son has not learned any Hindi.
Because several of your party men, forget anybody's personal, family. I mean, Mr. Stalin is, of course, your brother. But the point is, even those DMK party workers who are putting black on those railway signs,
1 minute.
even they are associated with these schools, or their children are studying in these
schools. We are talking about a government policy. You cannot say everybody in DMK is running a school or they are teaching Hindi. That is far from the truth. That is something Mr. Annamalai is just imagining out of nowhere.
It's not factually true, you're saying.
So I am not having statistics about who runs schools, who's not running schools. And we are not saying that nobody should learn 3 languages. I'm still saying it is a choice. In Tamil Nadu, you cannot force anybody to learn a particular language. But if a child or chooses to learn any language, it doesn't have to be an Indian language also. You have a choice to learn any language you want, but it has to be a choice is what we are saying.
Right.
I'm not saying that you should not learn Hindi. We are not against Hindi. We are only against imposing Hindi.
There is a question that has been raised by UP Chief Minister Mr. Yogi Adityanath, and he's asked M.K. Stalin that why should somebody hate Hindi? He's pointed to other initiatives of the Prime Minister in promoting Tamil in recent days. How do you respond to this?
I didn't get the second part of it.
Yogi Adityanath has asked
I heard
M.K.
the first-
Stalin, why should you hate Hindi? And he has pointed to initiatives of the Prime Minister in promoting Tamil, like the Kashi
Like
Tamil
what?
Sangam, the Kashi Tamil Sangam, and other aspects have been cited by him.
I don't understand how Kanchi Tamil Sangam promotes Tamil. I really don't understand how that promotes Tamil actually. It is a festival you had in Kanchi, and yes, we are happy that you had it, but doesn't mean that it's promoting Tamil. How much are you spending? I want to know how much the union government spends to promote Tamil and how much it spends to promote Sanskrit. Hardly anything.
That's perhaps a good question to ask the government.
I really want to know if you please spend on teaching Tamil. You spend on research to find better methods of Tamil. Print more books in Tamil. Teach. You're saying 3 languages, any Indian language. Please teach. There are so many people who come from UP and Bihar to work in southern states, to Tamil Nadu. Teach them Tamil. That will help those people so much. Because they don't have to come to another state where they find it so difficult to go to a shop, buy anything, go to a doctor. They struggle. You can help them by teaching them Tamil. You're not doing that. Please do that. That is promoting Tamil.
Okay.
But you don't do that. And we don't hate Hindi. I think Hindi movies do very well in Tamil Nadu. So we don't hate Hindi. You don't have to hate any language, but I will respect if the UP, anybody from UP is saying, I don't want to learn Tamil, I will respect that. And I think the UP Chief Minister also has to respect me when I say I don't want to learn Hindi. I'm not expecting him to learn Tamil.
Okay. Let's get
Can
back
I ask him, why haven't you learned Tamil? Learn Tamil. Why do you hate Tamil?
All right, let's get back to politics of your state. We've seen recently a meeting between Home Minister Amit Shah and Mr. Edapadi Palaniswamy. Do you think there's an alliance of BJP and ADMK on the cards?
Quite possible, it looks like it's going that way. And I just like to ask Mr. Edapadi Palaniswamy, because he was there before the 22nd meeting. On March 5th, the Tamil Nadu Chief Minister had called for a meeting of all political leaders from Tamil Nadu, and Mr. Edapadi also had participated in that, and he had also expressed his concerns about the delimitation, and he supported the Chief Minister along with many other political leaders from Tamil Nadu. So I want to know what they stand about delimitation, about 3-language policy, and of course the strains which we are facing because of the nearly sanctions by the economic sanctions by the union government on Tamil Nadu government. I want to know what his stand and how he looks at all that if they're going to go together.
Those are definitely very valid questions. There are issues of Tamil Nadu, but the reason that many are seeing this as important is that in the recent Lok Sabha elections, we know that the ADMK and the BJP fought separately. If they come together, do you think that they could give your party and your alliance a formidable challenge in the next assembly?
No, I think if BJP and ADMK come together, it will give the DMK a much better chance in the elections. Yes.
Why? Why do you say that?
Just wait and see.
No, is it because of the issues on which you have been trying to raise against the central government, which you think ADMK will not be able to convince them on?
I want to know how Mr. Edapadi is going to deal with these issues. I really like to know.
All right. Let me also ask you a question about Mr. Annamalai. He has, of course, been able to, bring the party into inroads. About 11% is the kind of vote share that the BJP got in the last Lok Sabha elections. Do you see the party gaining traction in the state, or do you think that this is as good as it's going to get for the BJP? Because they haven't been very successful in neighboring Kerala.
No,
either.
I think time and again the Tamil Nadu Chief Minister and the DMK party has been thanking 2 people for doing very well in Tamil Nadu. One is our governor, Mr. Ravi, and the second person is Mr. Annamalai. So I am very sure that the BJP has of course, we don't accept the BJP for different reasons and many other reasons in Tamil Nadu. But I think these 2 people also have contributed a great deal to that.
All right. Let me also ask you about another issue, which is, of course, the issue that BJP keeps raising, which is of Udayanidhi Stalin and his anti-Sanatan comments. While it may or may not have had an impact yet on ground in Tamil Nadu, there are many who say that this has adversely affected the India alliance in the rest of the country. How do you see this kind of perception that has been built, and particularly the statements, because they have been perceived as being anti-Hindu statements?
See, when you talk about Sanatan Dharma, I think Mr. Udayanidhi Stalin has explained that when it is about caste system, we oppose it. I don't think, very staunch Hindus also accept the caste system. So that is something we, DMK and I think many people oppose. So that is what he was talking about. And I don't think why it has to have adverse effects, because I think most of us here do not accept, caste
But why not
hierarchy
just say that?
or
Just
the
say
caste
we are
system.
against caste system rather than saying dengue, malaria.
Pardon?
Why not just say I am against caste discrimination
definitely caste
as opposed to saying dengue, malaria, etc.?
No. See, caste system is something which is a social evil. And you have to accept that we have to do away with the caste system and the caste hierarchy, and we cannot continue. You can be a, believing Hindu, you can be a very devout Hindu, but it doesn't mean that you believe in the caste system or you have to accept the caste system.
But why use this terminology that Sanatan Dharma is a dengue or a malaria?
See, I definitely think caste system is an evil. I'm sure you also think caste system is an evil in society.
So that's my exact point. Why not say caste system is evil? Why say Sanatan Dharma is dengue, malaria?
See,
That's the point.
When that is what it is meant.
But it's open to
Then-
interpretation.
Pardon?
But it's open to interpretation, and therefore
I think
BJP capitalizes on it
any
also.
philosophy, any philosophical term is open to interpretation. I think the way I see it, the way he sees it, the way you see it will be different.
All right. We are also in the midst of a very heated session of Parliament. And as a parliamentarian, I must ask you about one of the issues that is, very key to the entire political discourse, and that is of the Waqf. Now, the opposition has, of course, raised its own concerns. The entire matter has gone through a JPC. There are concerns that are still existing. Where do you stand on this entire issue? Because the BJP has said that, this is something that is required. There is appeasement on part of previous regimes, which we are trying to fix. Yet, the Tamil Nadu Assembly has also adopted a resolution against this entire Waqf bill. Where do you stand on this entire Waqf bill at the moment?
Exactly where my party stands, that we do not accept, and that is why we've passed the resolution in the Assembly, that we do not accept the changes and we don't want this bill to be brought about.
Because the entire argument is that Waqf is not a strictly religious practice. There are several Muslim countries, for instance, where there are no similar laws pertaining to Waqf. What is the need for it here? Because there are certain provisions which allow for these Waqf bodies to take over land without even the knowledge. For instance, in Tiruchendurai, in Tamil Nadu, which is often cited as an example, where there is a 1,500-year-old temple, which, the residents, they say, predates Islam, that is now a Waqf property. So there are these anomalies. There are those who claim the Parliament, Eden Gardens, cricket ground in Kolkata are all Waqf properties. Now, certainly these are all bizarre claims. You would also agree.
No, there are many stories which come up also where, the example you're giving in Tamil Nadu. There are so many, fake newses and wrong stories which come up, and suddenly, they go to some mosques. We've been seeing this. People go to a mosque, then say that it was an old temple, and then you can go to a temple, you can say it was a Buddhist or a Jain worshipping place. So if you want to keep starting issues and raking up issues and dividing people based on religion, you can continue doing that, as the present government and the BJP is always been doing. But I think you cannot take it up against, but even yesterday when the Home Minister spoke in Parliament, it was clearly, that how he cannot accept, people from, a particular religion to come here as refugees, because they are not coming here only as refugees, is what his statement was. So you cannot base politics. You cannot look at human beings only because of which religion they follow. So that has been the philosophy of BJP. And I don't think they're trying to sort out issues in the work board. They are just trying to create issues so that they can take away from a community, and I definitely don't think the DMK will allow or accept that or support it at any cost.
All right. There are many questions actually that I had more to ask you here, ma'am, but thank you so much for joining us today here at the Times Now Summit and sharing with us your views, Ms. Kanimozhi. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member of Parliament and Madhav.